Hello. What
Hey,
is up, man?
not much, bro. Out of all the days, there's not music being played in my house. As soon as like we get on a call, my family starts playing music.
They start bumping tunes.
Exactly, bro. I can hear it. I can hear it literally right next door right now. Can you like hear it? Am I like clear for you?
Yeah, I could hear you fine. I don't hear any music whatsoever.
Oh, really? Cause it sounds
Hmm.
like it's like right next to me.
They're just bumping it hell loud. Okay.
Yeah, bro. That's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, let me just get everything ready.
For sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say like as soon as we joined, like I just started recording. If you're cool
Okay,
with me, so
that's
just let you
totally
know.
fine.
Yeah, I remember yesterday when you said that I was like really not when I sent you the last one I did with Alec or Rocket Man. You were
Hmm.
surprised that I was like prepared for that.
Yeah, very prepared with like questions and shit. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? That's I kind of I didn't really expect that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, man. I don't know why, but I just want to be prepared because obviously I would say I want to keep this stuff as evergreen as possible. So like in case like somebody wants to go back, they can see like the videos from the past. I guess that's one reason why I do the scripting the way I do it, basically.
That makes a lot more sense now that you mention it.
Yeah.
Having like actual formal questions and just going by like a list instead of having to think of everything off the top of your head.
Yeah, because like I noticed like about 9 to 10 questions I usually have for each person. Usually it lasts about an hour or so, maybe a little more than that. It just depends on how much the person actually talks or not. Everybody's pretty relaxed when it comes to like the conversations, obviously, because I've gotten a lot better with talking to people, especially over the internet. Because if you see how like I actually started versus like how comfortable I am now, you can definitely tell the difference in like how I actually talk. Because right now I'm pretty relaxed, I'm pretty chill versus maybe
Yeah.
like the first 2 or 3 I was nervous and stuttering half the time.
Well, to be frank though, I feel like if you're gonna interview someone, that person that's being interviewed, they should at least do some sort of research and like see how like you flow and everything by watching like previous videos. Like it
Hmm.
shouldn't just have to be a you thing. It should be like kind of like I mean it's a two-way road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean that's what I did. I watched that interview with the Cali and shit,
Hmm.
the Kalibvr, and I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
all right, so this is like what I'm gonna get myself into, like
yeah.
mentally prepare myself for all this type of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, definitely. I think he was definitely one person that I was surprised that reached out to me just for the sheer fact that we never met in person. Like everybody else, I've pretty much so far met in person. I think the only person I probably haven't met so far is probably you. So
Really?
in Kalibvr in person.
Cali?
Um, so I'm hoping I actually can go to the West Coast because, like, I think in that interview though, or in that video, he basically was thinking of having a show on the West Coast for just basically anybody that's in California or like in that general area. Hopefully that can happen. I'd definitely be down to
Oh,
either.
fingers crossed, dude. Funny
Yeah.
enough, yeah, he is. Since you haven't met him in person, he's the only person I've ever met in the funk scene. Yeah, I invited him to like a kickback at my brother's place, and he was actually willing to go. It was kind of nice just talking to him.
Yeah, man, that's dope. He's a really cool person. I can tell like he's pretty laid back,
Yeah,
especially when we talk about everything. So
and he's tall. He's hella tall. He's tall as fuck.
is
Oh
he
my god.
is he like 6'4", 6'5",
He's
or
like 6'5" easy, dude. I had to look up the entire fucking. I'm glad we were sitting down half the time, so I didn't have to fucking do this shit the entire fucking conversation. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's crazy. I'm actually shocked that you say that because literally everybody in Funk around, I think with the exception of maybe Enocalypse, he's like probably average height, and maybe Vaughn, like everybody's tall as shit.
Everyone's tall.
Yeah.
I gotta look. I gotta do this for these. Are you serious? Oh my god, it's over, bro.
Yeah, man.
No.
Yeah,
Fuck.
it's crazy, but they're really talented, especially when they get on the decks and everything. It's definitely a sight to see. I'm actually I would say I'm really spoiled, especially when they actually come to the East Coast because they make the 2 hour journey to take a plane ride and just in general just have shows on the East Coast. Like it's
Yeah,
very
like
rare in America
they're
to have
able
the
to
shows.
contribute.
Yeah, it's very shocking, and I'm just glad that they're actually able to put that on for us in general. But yeah, man. Firstly, I just want to say I'm trying not to fanboy because you are one of my favorite producers in the actual community, and people will constantly hear me say that. They will constantly hear me say that because I remember for my first show that I did this month, I rinsed your Volume 1 album during my actual set, whether you know
Oh,
it or not. And
really?
I definitely, yeah, I rinsed you, Tony, a lot of the Funk Around guys, a lot of their tracks, and it was really nice. People really enjoyed it, especially in a live setting.
It's awesome. I actually had no idea. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, anytime, man. Like I'm gonna keep saying it. Like I used to, like during the pandemic, I used to literally listen to Volume 1 and Volume 2 like clockwork. Like every single time I was at work, I would literally have that in my rotation or in my on repeats on Spotify.
That's super nice of you, dude.
Yeah, man. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get started. Okay, so I went back on your SoundCloud. Publicly, you have been on SoundCloud for almost 8 years. Your first public track was Ed, and I think it was Dirt. That's basically what it was called. So the exact date is September 19th, 2016. So what has changed since that very first upload on SoundCloud publicly? And also two-parter for this, what tips of advice would you give your younger self that might have improved your workflow as both a person and a producer?
Oh wow. Alrighty. So back in 2016, I that very first track I uploaded, I think it wasn't on an actual like programmed DAW. It was on like an online one, and I was given like loops and stuff, and I just kind of managed to piece that together. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna upload this for like my first one. Like I knew like the idea of like making music was like you gotta start somewhere. You know what I mean? Even if it's from like some free to use software that I just found randomly online. I gotta at least post something.
Yeah.
And of course the bots ate that shit up like fucking breakfast. They loved it. The bots loved it, dude. But besides NA actual people, no, I got no traction. And I think I stopped making music for like a year. And then the next coming to tracks where it's just like my icon where I didn't post any like profile pictures or whatnot. Those are actually I made those beats on my I might have privated them, I'm not sure. The next time I made beats on my phone on FL. I had an Android, so I was able to illegally download it because Android gang.
Go
But
crazy. The throwback gang right there.
the throwback. If you go on my Instagram, I used to on my old Instagram that got hacked. I used to make these little rap videos, and I just thought they were like silly and whatnot. So I just like made a beat. I'm like, oh, who cares? I'm gonna say some like silly stuff, and people liked it. But then I realized I kind of enjoyed making the beat for some reason. So I'm gonna try this rap thing one more time. That just gave me an excuse to make more music. So I did that. They enjoyed it, and I was like, dude, this is kind of fun. I'm kind of fucking with this. So did this a couple more times up until I was like, I don't really want to rap anymore. It's kind of want to make music. It's just kind of low-key hella fun. Oh my gosh. But my phone sucks ass. It's like a 2012 Android. The thing can barely run like the internet browser with my bad. It's my alarm. My fault. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine, bro. I kind of understand that it's like hella early for you too. So
yeah. But after that, I've just kind of I think my mom got me a laptop, thankfully, for school, like back in high school, and I was like, you know what? I gotta make lo-fi. That's my dream calling. What a fucking idiot I was back in the day. Holy shit. Lo-fi, it was very cool at the time, but then man, the limitations you get and like you can't really be creative. The moment you try to experiment in that scene is the moment like you get no plays, no traction, no whatever. And it kind of just ruins the whole like perspective on it. And then sooner or later I was just like, yeah, I got like a couple good like clicks on like some tracks and all, but like this isn't what I want to do.
Yeah.
Up until I heard Beside You and DJ Young Vamp, that lab they did, and I was like, whoa, what the heck is this, dude? This is crazy. This is insane. So I started listening to more of that sound, more, and then Sortier popped up. I think 666 popped up too, Mythic.
Paulo and everybody from Purple Posse.
Paula and everything. Caspian Rose. Oh my god, it just led me to this rabbit hole of like, dude, this is kind of the thing in my head that I had for years that I wanted to do. I just didn't know what the fuck to call it because it's a dumbass name. No offense to the scene, of course. It's a silly name though. PHONK.
Yeah, like just Phonk, but with a PH.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I think I kind of related to like how people use the word fat instead of like with a PH instead of Phonk. Yeah, that's literally how I like define it as being. But I remember I was trying to look it up yesterday, like when I DM'd you. There was a track that I remember that you had years ago. It was a lo-fi track, but I think it had maybe a couple million plays. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I can't. I might get this wrong. I'm not 100% sure.
On my SoundCloud, I don't think I have anything close to a million. Maybe like 300K, 400K at most.
Yeah, I
But I
think.
think the one you're talking, it's on YouTube.
Okay.
It's called Summer, and that
Hmm.
shit lives with me like a little demon on my back. It never goes away. Because although it is like my most popular, like I don't make it anymore. I still get some messages being like, "Yo, I love this song." I'm like, I don't, but I'm glad you do. You know,
Yeah.
congratulations, I guess.
Yeah, because I know off the top of my head, I remember on your SoundCloud, I think Lost is your most popular track. I think it has maybe 300K,
Oh my
338K, and
God.
that's just shocking. The fact that something that was maybe years ago. I think when I looked it up, it was about 5 or 6 years old, because I know Volume 1 was created between like the beginning of COVID and like during the peak of the pandemic.
To answer your second question, what I would tell like my younger self, don't do lo-fi, bro. Don't do it, man. Like although it gets you click, like I'd rather have a brand new resume and start funk fresh than to have that like be in the past and all.
Hmm.
Just because I'm not proud of it
Yeah.
and whatnot, and it doesn't represent who I am now. I'm making this type of music. It also get a laptop ASAP, bro. Hit up Rev. He's the goat. Yeah, my goat. He sent me a link, I think, for FL12 for free because he's Russian and whatnot.
Yeah.
Man, oh my God, that changed my whole thing. It was crazy back then. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, man. I remember I never knew that people cracked FL until I really started talking to people in general. Like I never knew, because I bought like the producer edition like straight up. I saved like maybe like a couple months to actually buy the full edition.
Dang. Oh my God.
But I didn't know that it was a thing until like I started hearing people that use Ableton. They was like, yo, just crack it.
Like just do your thing, man.
Yeah, but I never knew that until like I actually started talking to people, and they're like, yo, I'll just send you the link and I'll do all this other stuff. And I'm like, you know what? I'm good. I got my producer edition. I'm pretty happy. It gets the job done. I'm pretty sustained right now.
I used to be like so scared of like viruses back in the day.
Yeah.
And like getting like malware.
Hmm.
So every time I get like a link like, yo, here's like the new updated FL like .1 that you can get right now. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to like my computer's gonna die if I click it. I will pass on that.
Yeah, like I'm still a little hesitant on like finding cracked versions of stuff. I usually just stick with like what I have right now, even though like it's difficult to collab with people. But I mean, it's something that I've used for years at this point. I think maybe about 2 or 3 years at this point. Yeah.
And that's totally understandable. I know exactly where you're coming from.
Yeah. So next question. In your Spotify and SoundCloud description bio, you have the phrase Ramirez Fanboy. So, if no one knows, Ramirez is a G59 artist. It's basically a record label. I'm pretty sure it's based in America. They have people like Germ, Shakewell, and most popular and well known is Suicide Boys. Do you care to explain why that is in your description, or what's the inspiration to having Ramirez in your bio and your description?
Yes, I can. Thank you very much, Danny. Ramirez is I grew up the way I found out of funk was of course thanks to BSD, DJ Young Vamp, etc. But it was also heavily towards Suicide Boys that I first listened to back in like 2016. A buddy of mine put me on him. His name's Irvin. He actually made my cover art for Heaven halfway. It's a tour
Your
Heaven.
newest tape, halfway
Yeah,
to
he
heaven. Yeah.
he made the cover art, so he's like a really old homie of mine. But yeah, Suicide Boys, I listened to their sound and I was like, yo, this is Scrim got it, bro. Like his production is insane. And I was like, how do I use some of his magic and put into my work? And then I don't know, it was hella hard up until I heard about other G59 members. I think it was Sarcophagus 2. It was Suicide Boys and Ramirez on the track. And I heard Ramirez and I was like, yo, this dude's low key sound like one of my old homies growing up for some reason. I don't know why. I grew up in the Bay, of course, so Latinos over here, they're very wide range and they come from all sorts and they sound totally different. But this guy sound familiar, and I never knew why. I was like, huh, I wonder why. Because I mean, from looking up Suicide Boys, it's not a lot of Mexicans in the underground scene. And so once finding out that he was Mexican, I was like, I could low key like support this guy my entire life. He makes banger ass music, and I was like, yo, that's all I needed to hear, buddy. Checked out his whole catalog with NTM, Young Milk Crate, Rocky, that newest one. Oh my god, what a good song! And just hearing all the, he's a good rapper. He's really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like the gist of it. Just listening to all his albums, like SOS, back to back to back. His old one, man, I just couldn't get a. This guy is just fucking amazing. It's probably my top 5 artists of all time, easy.
I think
And making remixes, like using his vocals, I just have a ton of fun with them.
yeah, definitely. I remember I don't know what, you probably know the album, like how I'm about to explain the cover is basically yellow with like a lowrider in the background, and I forgot his name, but he was featured on it. Like his most popular song 4-5 is on it, like that album. I forgot.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
completely forgot what the album is
the
called right now.
the players.
Yeah, the
Season, I
Player's
think.
Manual, I think. The Player's Manual.
The players
yeah,
manual.
Yeah. Like I remember I tried to find it on vinyl for the longest time, but I literally can't find it anywhere because it's literally sold out everywhere. And I listened to that track from beginning to end. And I forgot, it was like the very second skit, the intro skit transitioning to the second song was probably my favorite transition, because I've never heard, like, you obviously in funk tracks you hear the transitions or like the beginning of a tape on SoundCloud, but hearing that on an album from a bigger artist, you think, oh damn, that's crazy. I never expected somebody that big to use a transition like that, and I thought it was kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Ah man, Ramirez the goat.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah,
He is the
definitely.
best.
Is that, I was gonna say, is that like a dream to produce for him, like in the future?
Yes, it is. It's very much a dream. It's basically my goal. Growing as a producer, it started with like baby steps, getting like what 100 plays on a track, getting like 50 likes, 100 likes, getting like a certain amount of followers, to getting on Sad SoundCloud, Rare, Ryan Celsius.
Hmm.
Like all those goals I had in mind, I thankfully enough was in the right position at the right time to reach them. I'm very happy to like get this, like knock them out my list and stuff. But now I'm getting closer to making this music thing a little bit more about than a hobby, which I'm very thankful for. Yeah, that is very much my main goal, is to produce for Ramirez at the end of the day.
Yeah, I
Um
was gonna say, like, it's definitely driven. Like, that's definitely a goal that I feel like is really big for you in general, because I can definitely hear the inspiration, and just you talking about it in general, I can definitely see that being a future goal.
Funny enough, not a lot of people know this. He's actually hit me up back in like 2019 maybe. Before COVID hit, if I remember. I'm not sure. He hit me up on Twitter. He didn't DM me, but he messaged me it's my username at the time, saying, "Send me some beats." And the moment I saw that, I was fucking, it was on the walls, it was on my monitor. It was on my doors, bro. I couldn't stop it. I was like balling too. I was like, there's no fucking way my number one inspiration hit me up for music. And then I fucked it up by sending him SoundCloud music that I've made, not actual beats that he could hop on. And I've never heard from him again.
That's a story to hear. Hopefully, like, he sees this video and just takes a step back and realize, oh yeah, I'll fuck with him real quick.
That's probably the only interaction I had with like a big rapper.
Hmm.
I was talking to Inteus about this. I mean, like about how we fumbled rappers and shit. And it feels so bad. Sucks. What
Yeah,
a bummer.
I was gonna say, like, did he fumble like a rapper, like from his story? Like, do you mind sharing it, or is it something that was kept between you two?
I remember. I honestly don't remember the rapper, but from the way he talked about it, he was pretty bummed out. So it's probably like a big inspiration of his.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so I just asked this question: your initial inspiration to produce, specifically your style of music. How did you initially find the funk genre / community?
I think thanks to related tracks on SoundCloud. That's really what led me down the rabbit hole. I clicked the right tracks, and it led me to the right producers to get inspired by. Sudier, a big inspiration. Big inspiration. Specifically his 1976 track. I used to bump that all the time when I was riding the bus back to college. It was, oh my gosh, it was such. I think it was just more of the acoustic bass that really led me, like, man, this shit's crazy. Oh my god. Oh, this is insane. Yeah. Low Pocus. Not
Yeah.
a lot of people talk about him, but he was like I think he was like the original, the OG that led like the G funk.
Yeah.
scene of, because there's like him and, oh my god.
Is it Codewine? Does it Codewine like produce similar to that? I haven't heard like his discography, but he usually pops in my
Oh, Colorblind.
related tracks.
He surprisingly enough, he doesn't really, but he hella should because he has the sound for it. The
Yeah.
labs we did, I kind of low key got carried a little bit. But oh, that and Gluten, if you remember Gluten, if I'm not sure, he stopped making music like way long ago, but he used to produce a lot in like that style.
Mm-hmm.
Of, like West Coast. All these Europeans are super good for some fucking reason. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, I was gonna say another name that comes to mind, and I saw him on your collabs, and I was actually shocked that he actually collabed with you was Tommy Martini. Like I was actually shocked that like you hopped on
Oh,
a track with him in 2019.
oh, I think it was a Junko or a Junkie when he changed it before he changed his name.
Yeah. Like I looked at the like you appeared on Spotify, and I didn't know because I literally just got into listening to him and jazz players and SIC Records like in the last year and a half, and I didn't know that you guys actually did a track together. And I was like, huh,
Oh yeah.
that's something to put down.
I think I'd rather spill the beans
Mhm.
about this. Yeah, so all of the people that made this style of funk, what Lopocus, Tommy Martini, Sathan, Stoff. Lopocus was actually, we were gonna be a group. It was gonna be called Look Up Click. It could just be like literally all the people that made that type of music, just like making like music together and shit. And unfortunately, it kind of fell through. Everyone just had like real busy, had plans and stuff, so we weren't able to even start. We weren't even able to make a, a SoundCloud page to begin with. But yeah, we were supposed to be something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it just never happened.
That sounds like something. Maybe it could happen from this video, but I'd be
Yeah,
shocked
maybe
like if
maybe it
something
could
happened.
yeah, with like the newer gen producers such as like DSCOFF and stuff. DSCOFF.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
surprised the fuck out of me. Oh my
Dude,
gosh.
like I didn't know who he was until the beat battle that he judged like months ago. I didn't know who he was, but he used to always pop up in like a bunch of features, and he's super young, and like he's really talented. Like I'm actually
He's
shocked that
really.
he doesn't post as much as he does, but I think the reason is because I think he's in school right now.
Yeah, most likely. But yeah, I'll be honest, I'm kind of an old head. Like I'm not really used to like clicking on like new producers. Like I'm used to clicking to the same like 50 or so people just over and over and over just
Yeah.
because, you know, they're my homies and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw Discoff, I learned like that he's from the Bay, or not from the Bay, he's from Cali, and he makes like, well, this type of music like G-funk shit, West Coast. I was like, whoa, maybe I should give like newer people a shot, because when I heard it, I was like, this is actually pretty good.
Bro's just yelling a second ago. That's crazy. But yeah, I was gonna say like that's probably another name that you could think of if you guys ever do like a West Coast show like you, DSCOFF, Kalibvr. I know Chillin' Spree is on the West Coast, and maybe a couple of the guys from not Las Vegas but Denver. I could definitely see something special with that roster that I'm probably naming off. There's probably a bunch more, but really think off the top of my head right now.
No, the local strangers, Space, Cali. I feel kind of bad not really talking to them much. Just
Yeah.
because, I mean, although we are from like the same state, I don't know. I feel like it'd be nice to just, if possible, to kick it back to see it whenever, like just to meet people that like my low key neighbors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the scene, but like be nice to like say what's up to them. I probably gotta hit them up for that shit.
Yeah, definitely. I know like it's really I wouldn't say it's really difficult, but it's funny how there's so many people that you know from the same state or like the neighboring state. Like just about I think a couple weeks ago when I was doing the show in Virginia, I didn't know like everybody was so close. The closest person is Pygmalion and like St. Paul, which are like basically 20-30 minutes away from me, and
What the hell?
I didn't know that until he literally hit me up on Instagram. He was like, yo, you want to hang out? You're from Maryland. And I said, oh, where are you from? And I was like, oh, I'm from Maryland. I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy.
What the hell?
Because I didn't know that for a while. I didn't initially pick up until he actually started liking a ton of my actual tracks, but he really got on my radar when he started collabing with other people, specifically Inteus and I think Zero. I think the last Instagram reel that I just posted like their collab that they had, but he's really talented. I think this is the same reason why DSCOFF is like not posting, and I guess it's basically because of work and life in general. But he's really
Yeah,
talented.
super talented. Keep it up, DSCOFF, if you see this. Thumbs up, man.
Hey yo, let's get a collab, please. Oh man. Yeah, I was gonna say this is funny because my dream collab is also you and like everybody that I've basically done a video with in general. And the reason this is the reason why I don't ask people for like collabs and music in general is I've said this before in maybe a couple other videos, is I think having a video versus a song like could impact a lot more people over just like something that's just one track and then you just forget about it after a while.
That is true. Yeah, having being easy to make music and have it like be mixed in like with all the sound and stuff, but it's hard to make this happen. It's a lot more rare seeing like your favorite producers, your favorite interviewer, um, fucking on camera and stuff, like talking and like showing their personality, how they are and stuff. It's just it's something that's cool to see behind the scenes.
Yeah, the reason that I would want to have like my favorite producers, artists, and a content creator, I really don't care. Like, I'd rather have that on a video. Basically, like how you explained it, like it's more personal. You get to know them a lot better. You can come back. You can get to know the person behind the actual music, and you can also like follow everybody else that has been on here in the past and people that I tend to have later in the future in general.
You took the word right out my mouth.
Okay, so next question is, what is the origin story of the name erickD, and along with the D list in your Discord server being a running gag?
The origin of erickD. So I'll be honest, I'm not the best at names. That's just how it is. That's really the gist of it. Growing up, I know my back on the Flash games era of like computers and stuff, where you can like hop into like miniclip.com or like addicting games and
Yeah,
whatnot.
yeah.
I always tried to be fucking silly with my names. I was too young. I tried out the name April Fools, but I was spelled April wrong, so it was April Fools because I'm a fucking idiot. I was like 6 and 7. That name didn't stuck out, of course. So I changed back on the Xbox 360 days. My brothers, they gave me a gamer tag of Lil Gamer 510. It was that, and then our Bay Area 510 tag next to it. That didn't stick. I wasn't gonna use that. And then my other username was BananaMan26. That isn't gonna stick, of course. So I was like, man, I have some shitty ass names. I think I'm gonna have to just make one on the spot if I want to start this like whole career thing. And I was thinking, my name, Erick. I'll be honest, not a lot of cool Erics nowadays. They're not really popular. Kind of bummed out. So I was like, maybe I could be the first cool Eric. Who knows? Per chance.
Perchance.
And I was like, well, so I was like, maybe how do I? It can't just be Eric. I tried to do that actually. I tried for like maybe a couple months, just removing the D, so just be Eric. I think Andrew inspired me. The one he popped up out of nowhere, like his hella good ass music. Shout out to
Yeah.
Andrew. And I was like, nah, I need the D. Pause.
Pause.
Wait. Wait.
Bro.
D is for my last name. And so I was like, you know what? Fuck it, just stick it together.
Mhm.
Get what you get. Yeah, and then homies like Soda, or my bad, DTHD and Varo.
Yeah.
They always kept wondering what the fuck what the D meant, and I was like, I just started making like a running gag, and I was like, you know what? Funny enough, I'll have a Discord server. I'll make it the D list. So the D list was back when I was streaming. I would put Eric and then whatever D word some people came up with on my. I'll put that and I'll add it to like my title when I was streaming on Twitch. So I was just going like list by list. If I can check back to there,
I
the D
remember
list.
the one. The funniest one was Eric Die, Eric Dick, and Eric Ding Dong. And I was like really hesitant to put it in like my notes and everything, but I was like, there's no way these are appropriate to talk about.
Like, Eric D's nuts, Eric Diculous,
It's
Eric
crazy.
damn this shit slaps. Yeah, all these Eric DJ Young Vamp, that was kind of a good one. I would just add them to my stream title just every time I stream just to refresh it. I thought it was funny, but I haven't streamed been years. I think been a very very long time. I know some people even kept asking me till today. They'd be like, "Yo, when's the next stream?" I'm like, "Pucker, it's been 3 years. I'm not sure, man. My fault. I apologize." But yeah, that's basically the origin of that.
Yeah, that's dope. I kind of expected like that answer because I feel like it's how everybody answers. It's like, yo, I came up with this name on the fly, and it just stuck after a while. So I feel like that's definitely something that a lot of people take, especially me. I mean, my nickname's Danny in real life, and the T, if no one knows, it's like I was really into like building computers when I was younger and everything. So the tech and everything, like the full Techaholic name, that's where it came from.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Honestly, I would have never guessed.
yeah, it's funny because I was terrible in school, but as soon as I got off of school, like I would just build computers and just be like an audiophile in general. Like I used to just be so interested in literally any type of audio device, computers, everything in general. But when it came to actual school and like books and everything, I sucked. Cannot do that. Can't sit down at a desk at all. Oh man.
Nah, I'm in the same boat with you. I barely passed high school. I'm thankful I did.
Yeah, so how did the initial first album Perfect with it's Jakobe, right? Like is that how you say it? Jakobe?
Yeah,
How
Toby.
did that become a full project back in 2019? And the exact day that it dropped on Spotify was actually New Year's Eve, which was December 31st.
Man, I think I would look back in the messages, but it would take too long. If I remember correctly, I remember I hit him up, or I think I found him up. I think I found him and I messaged him like, "Yo, you want to lab?" This was back when I think I made a little EP called 400 and Counting. I think I might have privated it, but I hit him up for that because I heard his music and I was like, "Yo, this guy's really fucking good." I'm surprised he didn't have like more listens or whatnot. And the first lab, it went good, but I was like, maybe we can do the second one because back in the day, Jakobe, even he will admit this, his snares were super fucking loud. He loves loud. He loved clipping to the very edge of your ear, loud ass snares. And I don't blame him. You know, underground scene, we loved loud snares back in the day. For some reason, I'm not sure why. It just hurt our ears, but we enjoyed it. But the next lab, it went really good. I'm not sure what the next lab was. It might have been I'm the first. I'm the one. It might have been that one. I'm not sure. But then after that one, we made time. No, not Time's Up. Oh my god. We made another song. It had like a little Uzi keychain cover on it. That one was the next. And then after that, I was like, all right, I'm starting to get the gist of the Jakobe guy and how good he is. Conclusion? Hella fucking good. All right, this is awesome. I found a guy I could actually lab with consistently because I feel like once you lab with a person, it's most 9 out of 10 times it's like a one-off thing. Just because it's cool to get the idea like, oh, what if we combine our two, styles together? But half of the time it's not really what you expected. Plus, like their workflow has to like match yours and whatnot. You guys have to be on the same page for like most of the time. And so it's a little rare to find that one dude that you can be like, yo, I'm sending this to you and I know you're gonna make a heat, so just send it to me back and we can call it a track. Jakobe was that guy for me. And then once I figured that out, I think I hit him up with like, yo, what if we made an album together? And he'd be like, honestly, I'm down. That's my Jakobe impression. Honestly, yeah, I'm down. No offense, Jakobe. That was my nah. Jakobe just sounds. He's just like a regular white dude. He's all chill.
Bro, that's funny.
He's super cool, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as of today, you know how Spotify has your top 10 songs that you show like newest listeners? For both of you, it shows up around 40 to 50% for both your top 10 songs on your Spotify profiles. So at least four to five of the songs show up on both of your actual profiles, which is crazy. And I think
that's so cool.
I think the most streamed one probably has the same amount of streams as Lost, which I think is about 300k. Either 300k or 180k. It might be two songs. Might be two songs on there.
We know the album was going to be great once we dropped Bring It Back with the Denzel Curry flip. Man, it got so much traction. People were like, yo, this is awesome. Can't wait for the album. Once that happened, I was like, we gotta finish this shit. I didn't know when we were gonna release it. I thought we were gonna release it in January, but no, we got it just in time for New Year's. Which is kind of nice to hear. Little cool surprise drop and whatnot. People loved it, but yeah, we were in the talks again about another one. But that's if once he's done with with his album and my album, if we have enough free time, we could possibly knock it out. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, because A part 2 modern version of you two collabing on the album would be something that I feel like a lot of people are
Yeah.
excited to
Now
hear.
that we actually know what we're doing, it's gonna be a little cool.
Yeah, man. So on your Discord server, there is a person that I've known for about a year, about 2 years. I can't remember. Fishbone.
Oh, Fishbone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I put this as the homie common ground on my actual notes because he is really talented, and I didn't know who he was until I think I started listening to you, or I found your actual Discord server. And then we started chatting in general when it came to, I think, overseas connections, I think then 808, a few other Discord servers, but I used to always see his name pop up. And then on the SoundCloud game show, both of us have been on it before, his actual track popped up for my stream, or like when I was actually on there, and I said, when is this man about to come up with an album? Because he's really talented. And I was also gonna ask, was he also like a fan of you as well, like similar to how I was a fan, and then he just turned into like a homie, like after a while, just talking?
Yeah, Fishbone, he's been, I feel a little bad. I feel like I haven't really talked to him enough with how consistently he's been supporting me and stuff. Like I've always remembered seeing his name pop up for so many years, man. Oh my gosh. He is like a really, really early supporter of mine, and he's a really chill guy in general. Plus he makes really good music. Oh my gosh.
Please drop the album when you're done.
Please, Fishbone, please. It's been so long, man. But yeah, Fishbone is awesome. There's a certain track, I think he posted it on his second account, and I was like, why the fuck did you post this? This is like main worthy, man. Come on, it's just so silly. Get with the times. Oh my god. But yeah, please, Fishbone, if you can, please finish the album. I beg of you, dude.
Yeah, like I don't remember last time he posted on his SoundCloud, but it must be at least maybe a couple years, like since he's ever posted anything on his main account. Like he is super talented. I always say this about everybody that I meet in person or like I meet online. If I have enough conversations with you, like I'm gonna brag about you if you're really talented. That's a given. If I'm cool with you and you make really decent tracks, then well, firstly you're gonna get on the playlist, and secondly you're gonna be cool in my books.
That's true.
So okay, this is gonna be a loaded question in a second because it has to deal with all the features that have come out that I can actually name right now. So are you ready?
I'm prepared.
The list of features go on with having projects with the likes of Kalibvr, Holy Mob members Necros and Inteus, Jakobe. From Purple Posse, you have Tommy Martini. You also have Lopocus, DTHD. I don't know how to say this, but it's JVNN3.
Oh, JVN.
Yeah,
I think we just say that.
Okay, JVN. Then you have Young Maple, Cloudy Main, Rev, and Code Wine. And you were also featured from the actual sad SoundCloud tape, Phonk Dominates the World Volume 1. Who's one person on that list that you were shocked wanted to actually collaborate with you? And who is also one person that I did not name on that list that you wish to collaborate with in the future?
Man, you were definitely right about that loaded question. Let me think. I think it had to be Inteus, probably. Inteus most likely, just because of how well known he is in the scene, and me not really him wanting to do a style, wanting to make music, that song that we did, She Got the Body, in my style at least, because he listened to my shit and I was like, what the fuck, that's crazy. I couldn't believe it at the time. Yeah, but then it went like great. Like everyone loved it. It was fucking insane. And I think just the gist of, I'm not sure, I think I hit him up on Discord or whatnot, and he actually was just like willing to do it. I was just like, huh? So confused. Like whole ass head tilt and everything. Couldn't believe it, man. That I think when I landed with Inteus, that's when I was like shaking, dude. Couldn't fucking. It was a little bit surreal of like talking to like your idols in the like when you're growing as a producer and actually being able to like say what's up. I carried him in S&D MW19, by the way. Shout out to that. I think we played a couple of games with Vaughn in them. That was kind of fun.
That's crazy.
But yeah, dude, Inteus, super cool guy, super chill, dude. And now I feel like I'm willing to call him like one of my closer homies. So he's able to like talk about shit, because he's been through it all. He's like able to help me out and shit. It's very nice of him. And the guy that you didn't name, Simulate. He hasn't produced in a very, very, very long time. He is alive though, and I do have a lab that we've made back in like 2019, I believe, 2020, when he was still active.
Yeah, I was gonna say, could you say his name again? Because I think you just cut out just for
Uh,
like a second.
oh, no worries. Simulate.
Okay, got you.
He his latest track, I think it was like a DMB one. It's pretty fire, by the way. Yeah, it's been such a long time, and he was able to help me out through mixing and like knowing how to like layer my bass and whatnot. He helped me out a shit ton, and I don't think him and Tony, shout out to Tony, those two guys definitely helped me out on like the mixing and like just knowing what to do, like layout wise, helped me out a ton when it came to like my style and stuff that I have going on right now. Very appreciative for the both of them.
Got you, man. Well, again, bro, I appreciate you for doing this. This is going to be last 2 questions, and then we can just wrap it up with the guest questions, or if you have anything to ask me. Guest callouts. Okay. Name anyone you wish to be on a video in the future.
Varo 100%. Varo, I love the guy. He loves going ghost for no reason. Varo, if you're seeing this, I swear to God, oh my gosh, you gotta get Varo on here. I just think it'd feel funny. He doesn't really make funk, even though he produced like his own ass style of it, and then he just kind of dipped. But he's doing great things now. I love you. If you're seeing this, Varo, you fucking asshole. You're short. You're short, by the way. You're 5'4".
Wow. Wow.
We have the evidence.
That's crazy.
We have the evidence. 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 Thanks to DTHD.
Wow.
Because she has. I won't get into it. He knows what I'm talking about, though.
That's crazy.
But yeah,
Inside Scoop is wild. Inside Scoop is wild, bro. I know he's a really good photographer. I always like credit him for being such a great photographer. Like especially in like a live setting, especially with the pictures that he takes. Especially, I think it was 1G59 tour that they did, either the one that's just happening right now or something that happened like a year ago, but his photos were amazing. Like,
yeah, he knows what he's doing, dude. It's very, very impressive.
And speaking of the ghost thing, I tried messaging him, but this was at the time when he was ghosting. Like
he's still ghosting till this day.
He was like,
I sent him.
Oh, man,
Go on. I'm sorry.
I remember I added him on like the Ink and Wash server. It's like a community on Discord, basically run by a lot of people that do like jungle, DMB, breakcore, all that, etc. I added him, and then the mod for the server, he was like, yeah, he's probably he's probably like AFK again.
he really likes to do it. Yeah, I mean, he's busy and whatnot. I just miss talking to the guy. That's about it. But him and 2 other people, Jakobe, oh my gosh. If you ever to get Jakobe, that'd be fucking awesome. Jakobe, I feel like not a lot of people talk about him when it like comes to like the other side of music. He's a really good producer overall. He knows what the fuck he's doing. And one more person. Yeah, I feel like if you can get Inteus on here, I feel like that'd be kind of cool.
And that makes a 4th person to actually recommend him.
Are you serious? Really?
You're probably the 3rd, if not 4th person that's recommended him. But he just followed me on Instagram. I'm pretty sure he knows like who I am now, but I guess now it just goes down in the DMs at this point, bro.
I think he's on I think he was on vacay right now. I'm not sure if he's off of it or whatnot. I think that's the last thing I heard.
He's probably the most requested person I've had since I actually started this in, I think, February.
Rightfully so, though. You know what I mean? Like, he's part of like the most, I would say, besides Purple Posse, of course, the most influential group that like the scene has to this day. That's actually active. That's been like going on for so long with all these elite producers and whatnot, like such as Gally and Vaughn, Necros and whatnot. I feel like it'd be nice to have him here, like have him speak. He's a very chill guy too. I'm sure he'll say yes.
Yeah, I remember if I'm right, like he got recommended by both Vaughn and Ponsuda when I had them I think Inoculus recommended him. Maybe one other person, maybe local recommended him. I honestly can't remember where I actually put the paper, but it had like everybody, like the person I had and then the person I recommended. But he came up there at least 2 or 3 times before actually recording this, which is actually wild. The fact that he got requested so many times, and if he actually does this, I feel like this might surpass like my most viewed interview or like video I've ever done. I feel like if I get
easily,
him like
dude.
at least 1,000, like that's I'm like having high expectations. I'm gonna try to keep them as low as possible, but like
Yeah.
I feel like people would definitely see the man behind the person that collabs with a lot of people. Plus, he got playlisted on like a lo-fi playlist from Spotify and the Phonk Origins playlist, which is something that doesn't really happen unless you experiment with both genres.
Yeah, he's I feel like he's one of the people that are able to really produce anything, honestly. His most popular track on Spotify is a house track with like 2 million streams. And I told him about it. He was like, I just got lucky, dude. Fucking placements. What can I say?
Yeah, man, he's very versatile. I'm shocked the fact that he collabs with so many people that are smaller than him. Like, yeah, he could have a one-off with somebody that's in Bob, and yeah, he could probably have somebody that's probably bigger than him or that he's close with in person. But the fact that he's able to actually reach out to other people, it speaks a lot of volumes, because he's definitely putting on for the people that he collabs with, as well as people that I guess are hesitant to collab with people that are bigger if they're just getting started, because I feel like that's a huge reason why a lot of people tend to be hesitant to DM people nowadays. Like it's a scary thing, especially since this is basically all like majority internet based, I would say. So
100%. I also feel like a lot of the newer producers don't really know about him, which is kind of weird.
yeah,
I think I talked to a few people in the 808 server, and I was like, I mentioned his name. I was like, no, I never heard of the guy.
wow,
Like, what? You never heard of Inteus? Are you serious? Holy shit.
that's crazy. It's I know like recently I got into listening to SIC Records, but I didn't know that there were so many people that got influenced by their style that produce Phonk, because I know they want to keep it separated, respectfully of course.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how you can have those two worlds basically collide and have sort of a producer come out and basically make something that's similar in other, I would say, genres. Maybe that might be the word.
I think you got it. I think you got the word.
Yeah. Okay. So guess questions, because I always ask this if I run out of questions to ask the actual person that I actually interviewed or that I actually talked to. Usually they ask me 1 or 2 questions. Sometimes they don't. But what is one question that you would want to ask me in this scenario?
If you didn't find about the scene, funk and whatnot, what would you see yourself be listening to, like till now, or like even be what community slash what would you be doing as of this moment?
That's really good. I'd say I'd probably still be listening to like hip hop, and then my dad would want me to like DJ house music, because he's like heavily inspired and just DJing like old vinyl, old house tracks basically. I've been against it my entire life, because he used to blast it when I was younger, and like I used to hate the drum pattern for house music for the longest time. So when I started listening to my own music, like when it came to hip hop, R&B specifically, because in Maryland there's like a station where it's just only hip hop and R&B, that's probably the genre that I'll listen to. I know Holy, you probably have seen his name, maybe you probably haven't, but he got me into listening to breakcore and jungle and like drum and bass. That's something that a lot of people don't know. Like I really dove deep into like drum and bass in the last 2 years, especially trying to incorporate it into like a live setting in general. Because I remember the first show that I actually went to was the Young Vamp show that they did in Baltimore, and they were experimenting with EDM, rhythm, D&B. So I would say I probably wouldn't be as active, because it takes a lot of balls to do this. Like I would probably like be inactive on this YouTube channel in general. Like I probably wouldn't even do interviews at all, because obviously I wouldn't have the leeway or like the community that Phonk has in general. Like I'd be really hesitant to just DM these artists, because they're obviously bigger, especially since if you have a broad audience like house or hip hop versus this genre where it's very niche, and people know each other in general. It's really difficult. I probably wouldn't even be making these videos in general. I probably wouldn't even make my own music, but I would definitely like listen to music religiously and probably DJ more than I actually either produce or actually make music. But for some reason, just the funk community in general, it saved me during like the pandemic, because I was really, really lonely and I just got out of a really bad relationship. So that's when I started bumping Purple Posse, obviously your tapes and everything. Tony, off the top of my head, those are like the main tapes that I listen to. Like I can probably name off of volume 1, 9, and 10 of Purple Posse. Like those are like my favorite tapes in general. Like I have them in my head forever at this point, because I listen to them for literally hours on end. And I'm just grateful that my bosses were cool enough to let me wear my headphones at work for like 6 to 8 hours straight.
Really? They
Yeah.
allowed you?
Like during the pandemic, since I worked in like a kitchen in general, like we had 12-hour shifts, but since I was in the back like helping stock and everything, like I would literally be in and out the fridge and the freezer having my headphones on, and I used to just download everything before I got to work on my Spotify account, and it was like 6 hours worth of all the tapes, and I would go back to my favorite, and then I'll just repeat the entire tape for the entire day. I think that was mainly the reason why I almost got to 100,000 minutes listened on Spotify one year.
Oh my
Which
god.
is way too much. It's way
Yeah.
too much.
It's a little bit too much music going on right
Yeah.
there.
There's so many people. Like I just want to thank like the people that I basically had on here too, because they probably don't know it or not, but they're also the reason why I keep doing this, because they're like, yo, when's the next video dropping? Or yo, who's gonna be the next person? So it's I don't know like how to answer like what if I didn't find Phonk, because it saved me from so many scenarios and situations that for some reason I can't see myself not talking about it in the future, because it's definitely helped me when I was a lot younger and naive. That was really loaded answer too. But I really do love this community. I like people can definitely hear it in my voice. It's definitely helped me through a lot of thick and thin. I can't see myself not listening to it, even though people come and go. I'll definitely talk about it like on my journey, like if I stop making these videos in general. Cool. Oh man, that's
good
crazy.
answer. A real good answer, man.
Yes. You got any other questions? Because that was like 5 to 10 minutes
you
of an
mentioned
answer.
I know you were able to like DJ and spin your own sets over at the Funk Around and find out like venues and stuff like that. Before even all that, when you know them contacting you and allowing you to do all this stuff, how long were you DJing before?
I honestly, I've only been DJing for like the last 2 months. Probably like,
Really?
if I can date back, I would say the first controller I actually got ever it's like a small DDJ 200. It's probably like this big, and I got it for my birthday when I turned 23, and ever since then it's been the sky at this point. It's funny because I never tell anybody about my family, but my father used to DJ about when he was maybe 13, maybe even younger. And he has like towers and towers of vinyl records in the thousands and tens of thousands, and I literally see him do everything that I've done in the past, but the only difference is it's not on a USB stick, it's physical. And I told this story to maybe 2 or 3 people already, but my USB, when it came to like actually plugging it in for my first show, didn't work at all. Like all my music
didn't work.
Like my music wouldn't load, like the BPMs and all my cues and everything didn't work. So I literally had to, from what I guess my father taught me, do it by ear. Literally do everything by ear. So
Oh my gosh.
it was definitely a time. But to answer your question, because I know it was long-winded, physically in front of a bunch of people, I've only been DJing for about 2 months, but having a controller, I've only been DJing for about less than a year. and I've already had my first show like 2-3 weeks ago.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah, I think people were very surprised that I was able to get it done. I was surprised at myself. I didn't expect it to happen so quickly, but the guys that I actually had the entire event with, they were super chill. Bad Kids Good People, Holy Sus, Odd One Out, Quiet Mercenary showed up, and everybody else. But they were really chill, laid back. They were able to work with me because if I didn't get through that set with them not being that chill, I don't think I would ever DJ. God bless them, because they definitely helped me out, especially when I was having a lot of trouble with my music. But they were actually definitely able to make it happen. Just glad that they actually stuck to their word, and they actually made the venue something to remember, because I have the poster like near my actual new controller that I use all the time.
Yeah.
There will be content for that soon.
Ooh.
That's the inside scoop, and I'm gonna probably talk about that off camera too. But expect some DJ content in the future from me. That's all I have to say. So answer, 2 months, got my first controller less than a year ago. So,
damn, dude, congratulations. Holy smokes.
bro, I'm trying to be a triple threat in the community. So content, music, DJing.
Got that all locked down, man. Oh my gosh.
Man, what can I say? I'm like super passionate about this community, man.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's very nice to see. I think it's also nice that you have this this segue to like being able to ask questions to you. It's because I feel like, I mean, like what I said earlier, it should go both ways, the respect at least. I mean, if you're gonna like interview someone, at least do some sort of like research, or like maybe just ask them whatever, you know, like be like a fucking, I don't know, be genuine.
Yeah.
It's a little rude not being able to like do the same thing back, reciprocate at least.
Yeah, because everybody that I've had on here I've been super comfortable. I know, like, in person I'm pretty quiet, but that's only because I'm kind of trying to be self-aware and make sure like everybody's safe in general, because I'm always doing this 24/7, especially like how the area that I grew up with, like I gotta keep my head on a swivel 24/7.
Yeah, you gotta chill.
Yeah, but I'm pretty quiet in person, but when I actually work with people, they're pretty understanding. Like if I mess up, if I say anything wrong, if I mispronunciate anything in general, I think that's probably a good benefit of talking to people in this space too. Okay.
That's awesome to hear.
All right, any more questions?
Any more questions? I think I'm good for at the moment right now.
Yeah, man. But I appreciate you for doing this. I was actually shocked that you actually accepted, like you just DM me for a friend request too.
Oh yeah, it's because I was like, you were doing all these messages, and I was like, am I friends with this guy? And I realized we weren't even buddies, but you did send me that thing a while back, and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, because I was going through and I was like, 2022? Damn, that was a long ass time ago.
That was a very long time ago. The sample you showed me too.
Yeah, RP Vinyl Frontier, bro.
No, wait, did it get taken down?
Vinyl Frontier East got taken down, but I think they have Vinyl Frontier Extras. I think the website's still up, but there will be something from me on my main channel when it comes to that, because I know Kalibvr talked about it when we discussed what can be better in the community, and the topic of sample clearing definitely came up. So hopefully I can find different formats that people can actually find samples that are copyright free, hopefully.
Yeah, if you're able to do that, you'll be doing everyone a favor when it comes to just like being able to clear stuff.
Yeah, because I remember there was a story where Sudier, I think it was for Pirelli Volume 7. I think it's the one that has like the blue art cover when it's just him smoking a cigarette. It took him, I think, a few months to clear one sample, and then he got his entire project taken down, and he had to re-upload it without one singular track on there. And I thought that was crazy. It must have been a long time ago, probably even last year. I was like, I had to jot it down. Like, yeah, people need to be a little more careful, because it could honestly ruin a person's career, or you can lose a lot of money if you can't clear your samples.
Yeah, I feel like everything weirdly enough, it might be a little weird to say, since everything is kind of like taken in the funk scene, like artwork, samples, vocals, literally everything. It's kind of fun, low key, to be like, hey, yeah, maybe I can get away with this a little bit.
And then
But
when you get the attention, it's like, huh, they know.
it's like, you know, I might be fucked now. Well, it's whatever. I know that happened to a buddy of mine, DTHD. She had this one lab and it was blowing up everywhere. All these like editing accounts were like using it and stuff. And then the rapper, she got a hold and she was like, what the fuck? I didn't clear this. Blah, blah, blah. She posted it on her story and then my buddy started getting like a bunch of death threats and shit and whatnot.
Man.
And then they were then they were like requesting money and shit or else she'll get sued. It was like this whole thing and she was like, yeah, I'm not gonna be posting that stuff on like Spotify and whatnot. Never again. Never gonna risk it.
Definitely something to look into. If I don't make the video, I hope somebody else makes the video. But it definitely would help out a lot of people, especially on Spotify, because I know they're really not fucking with like copyrighted stuff. Like I could definitely tell that for a fact. That's sort of like the reason why I don't post that much on Spotify and just post on SoundCloud, because I got to be careful
really?
and everything. I'm trying to think of anything else, because usually this type of stuff happens at the end where I kind of blink out, and I'm trying to think of like another question. Oh, that's actually something. What do you think of? Obviously, it's funny because I'm promoting like my own playlist, but what's your opinion on the Phonk Origin playlist and the Big Phonk playlist?
The Phonk Origins, I think it's awesome to finally have something that we could call our own and not have it be what it's not, such like the Drift Phonk playlist is, and just being able to finally, after like what, it took like 3 years or some shit, 2 years, finally being able to be like, yo, you want real funk? Refer to this. Just like fucking take it over there. Cause man, back in like what, early Corona, back when Drift Phonk was getting big, that was a tough era to be within if you're like an OG funk head.
Yeah.
It was very difficult, and but it's over now, thankfully.
Yeah.
Now it's a lot more stable, and I think it should have been there since the beginning, to be fair, but it's here now, and I'm just glad we have it.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I would say I should have done this years ago, but I didn't have like the idea, didn't have the software for it. But the 808 playlist that I'm promoting, I never thought of like promoting like my own playlist on like a platform, because I never expected it to get that much traction. But in the last week, I've gotten about like 2,000 watches on Instagram. Like I'm actually shocked that people like share it on the story. I'm actually shocked that even though I'm like a small name in general, like people don't know me as well. I'm actually surprised that I think it has, the first one I ever posted, it has I think 1,000 plays or 1,000 eyes on it, and it's gotten maybe 300 to 500 every single one after that. So it's crazy the fact that just from one post you could probably change someone's career. Especially like a good example that could be like the Yokai videos. Like that's a really good example.
It's so crazy how that was Vaughn the entire time. It's so funny.
Man, I didn't know. I think the funniest thing was I went back to his old videos and I used to go in the description and it said edited and scripted by Von Storm. Like in the actual descriptions. Really? Yeah, like, and like majority of the music was his music. Like that's when I was like, oh shit, I never thought of that.
Yeah, like this motherfucker's Bruce Wayne secretly. What the hell? I can't believe it.
Yeah, dude. I think I've met him 2 if not 3 times so far, but he's really cool. But he's super busy outside of just making music in general, just like how a lot of other people are.
Yeah, he's busy playing fucking Rainbow Six Siege. I'll tell you that much. He's very. I hit him up. I play with him in his group sometimes. I used to play a lot more. It's been a while, but yeah, he's really cracked at that game. But that game's like poison, so I can like never really like play that game often.
Oh god, man! I remember I used to play Counter-Strike all the time, but I can't play any more games, dude. I genuinely can't.
Yeah, I feel it. You kind of like once it happens, like something happens that like you kind of just stop playing for a while. It kind of just sticks to that. You have really no motivation to go back whatsoever.
It's crazy, but I really did enjoy playing games. I really can't do that right now just because I'm always practicing my set. Obviously, scripting the videos that I have on this channel and the main channel. Like I genuinely don't have time. I literally don't have time to play games anymore. Like I literally had to uninstall Steam and everything.
Damn! Oh
which
my
is
god, you
which is
installed
crazy.
Steam.
Like I have it.
That
I
is-
have it now for Wallpaper Engine, but that's literally it. Literally the only thing that I have. I probably have the most hours on Wallpaper Engine in like the last year.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, man. Damn. Any questions that you decide to like conjure up or?
I don't believe so. I think I'm good off that.
Okay, cool. Are there? Let me rephrase that. Final plugs. Anything that you want to plug? Anybody want to shout out? And then we'll just stop recording after this.
If please, I wasn't able to say this, but on my Instagram that's hacked, if you guys are able to mass report it, that would do me a big favor, honestly. If my like old account gets taken out with like all my old posts, it's honestly whatever. I just feel bad that like if people search me up on Instagram, they might find that account, they might think it's me when it's really not. I just feel kind of bummed out over the idea of it. If it's possible, please report it if you have the chance. If not, I don't really care. It's whatever. But follow me on my actual Instagram, erickD. Please listen to my music if you like good music sometimes.
Sometimes it's
Um,
crazy.
yeah.
All the time, bro.
Uh, if I can play a kazoo, is that okay with you? Is that you
Go
cool with that,
crazy.
Danny?
Go crazy, bro.
I'm just gonna. I just like the noise. Okay.
And that concludes it.